notes and be like, I won this when I went to Belgium yesterday. And they're like, wow. Right? Just I don't know if there's an equivalent that often with North American players. Like, it's every so often we have a Cheeseadelphia, and it's like the top 8 players get to go back home and be like, I made $1,000, Mom. It's like once every 6 months.
Yeah, like if that, and then yeah, no, that's another great point, is the overall geographic spread outedness. I don't know, that's not a word. but it's just how sprawling it is. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes, yeah. No, it's definitely an issue. I mean, it's also Europe's kind of in the middle as far as like how much you can kind of go between the countries, but then Korea's like the most evident of this. Like from Seoul to Busan, that's as far as you have to go to be involved in Korean events and go to Korean qualifiers and go to Korean lands. And most people still live in Seoul, honestly. There's not even that many coming in from Busan, which is a 4-hour train trip, for those that don't know. So, anyways, there's like I said, like it's such a fascinating subject because it's not even specifically a StarCraft one. There's also plenty of people who would want to figure out why CSGO North Americans aren't as good as the European counterparts. But we'll have to let some, 20 years from now, there's going to be a whole college university course on this, and some guy with a PhD is going to write it up, and we'll finally understand. But it's not going to be any of us, I guess.
Even though we're the ones that live it and know it, and yeah.
We're going to be asked by that guy in 20 years.
Yeah, we'll be the guest speakers, exactly.
Yeah. Well, all right. So that has bought us enough time to get to the finals, guys. It's a best-of-5 grand finals, a rematch, apparently, of last week's North American Cup. We got ourselves on 2,000 atmospheres for this TVP. In the bottom left, being harassed, he is HeRoMaRinE.
And his opponent, spawning up in the top right, representing Storm Gaming, it is MaxPax in the red and getting NG Bay blocked. So we got a little bit of a nuisance on both sides. HeRoMaRinE managing to get that SCV out with 5 HP remaining. And the Reaper is going to find this probe getting a little bit cheeky, trying to come back in for more annoyance, harassment, but not going to be able to find anything.
MaxPax, I think, upon seeing that pretty fast SCV scout was already building anti-engineering base zealots. So it's taken care of on both sides fairly quickly, but there are definitely some disturbances, more so with the Protoss build, because the Terran, at the end of the day, could just put the command center off to the left a little bit. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So it is overall more bothersome for MaxPax, but he would feel such sweet justice if he had gotten that Reaper.
1 HP. The number of times I see a Reaper survive with 1 HP is so unbelievably high. Like, I feel like there's some math in there, and oh god, it's actually crazy to me how frequent that is. And the bunker's not done, so we are going to see an SCV pull. I think that's a wise move from HeRoMaRinE.
I think that's something you have to do. I mean, you could try and out-micro this, but it's not looking so hot right now. And I don't know if he wants to get a Hellion. He actually did not get it as soon as he could have. I guess he's busy microing, but it seems like it is intentional. Because if it wasn't, if he didn't want to get a Hellion and then he has to because of all the micro involved, that kind of sucks. But now this Hellion could be used to just get another scout. I mean, that's actually what I'm kind of expecting it to be in a tech lab. There we go.
Ooh, Adept is going to finish here on its shade. Oh, not being target fired, though. Could have gotten an SCV. Still will get 1, which is not bad at all. Meanwhile, Recall... What?
He was going to, guess, get the shade. Oh, no, he actually... Oh, the SCVs came back, so he grabs the 3 SCVs. Nice, that is worth the Adept. Yeah, I think MaxPax was worried that his Stalker was going to get chased down by the Hellion.
So. Oh, maybe. Or maybe he was just recalling to deal with the Reaper. Maybe he thought it was sent out earlier across the map, but either way, it's fine. Like, it's not ideal. It's a Chrono Boost wasted. Actually, no, he needed a recall regardless, probably. Well, did he? I don't know. I'm like hemming and hawing on this, but it's not a big deal. It's a small thing.
I think overall it is going to be a small thing, honestly. Like, sometimes, it's... That one Overlord did really cause Lambo to lose that game, but other times it's like, well, this probably affects a couple of decisions, but in 6 minutes we'll forget about it. And, in 2 minutes we're going to be talking about Blink Stalkers in HeRoMaRinE's main. It's actually kind of really, it's timely, because I was actually just discussing this with my Twitch chats. kind of someone is like, but aggression usually works for MaxPax, so you can't really, criticize him for being aggressive. And I think that's true. I think it's still his best benefits is that he has been an aggressive Protoss, so he's been able to punch up a lot of the time. But his 4 gates against specifically HeRoMaRinE and Clem is kind of what I think of first and foremost when I'm like, yeah, I kind of wish he wouldn't. I kind of wish he just play a regular macro game, 2 gateways. But we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit too predictable, I think, at this point. He's been doing it. He has been doing it a lot recently. Initially, he didn't do it much at all, but now he does it all the time. There is a drop coming into the main base for HeRoMaRinE. Battery overcharge is going to get popped, but now there's no actual recall on it's off cooldown, on cooldown. This is a little bit problematic.
Reduces the options, plus the medevac drop could come back in later, so that's always a bit scary. 4 Stalkers in the main are going to try and grab as many SCVs as possible, usually 3 or 4, this time 3. And then that is going to be a complete safe call. I have given MaxPax credit in the past because he's been using this build a lot, and I think it's also been not successful a lot. I'm very specifically not using the word failure, though, because the 4-gate wants to, like, deal game-ending damage, if that straight up win the game. That's where you get all 4 gateways. But MaxPax seems to enjoy using it as an opener, so I've made sure to give him credit in that regard. Like, let's see how he goes from here. He's going to control the Terran, micro, harass, blah, blah, blah. But every time I do, he still ends up losing the game. And I can't help but go back to the fact that he opened up with a 4-gate that didn't do much damage.
That's a really important thing to note, because I've noticed that, too. He does like doing this as a control build as much as possible. But I have seen historically he's been staying on the 4-gate aggression for a lot longer. Now, though, he does seem to be perking up a little bit in terms of how quickly he's transitioning out, which I am happy to see, because he's getting, Colossus a little bit quicker. He's getting the 3rd Nexus a little bit quicker, restarts probe production a little bit quicker. And, that's kind of the big weakness, is your tech is slowed down a lot. So if he doesn't stop teching for that long, it doesn't hurt you as much as it otherwise could.
Very good point. Very good point. It's a different build if you add 20 Stalkers versus just the 11, I guess, in this case. Still a decent number because some are back home defending, but very different than if he had gone for 20 and it had failed to attack.
Yeah.
So this is how this can be just a control build, but I also think that HeRoMaRinE has gotten more used to it as well. It seems like he's playing overly defensive. It's more that he doesn't have to do... There's nothing else to do but play defensive until all his upgrades are done anyways, so why take the chance otherwise? So he saw 2 bunkers, he salvaged 1, then he salvages the other. And he'll eventually have a very strong push that will be difficult for MaxPax to hold this.
Yeah, like extremely difficult. That being said, Extended Thermal Lance did just finish up. We've got the 2nd Colossus about to pop out. We're going to have Charge already done. +1 attack is going to be done. He's getting a Dark Shrine, which is, always a good move. It's always a very powerful move. Oh, man, that stalk.
Oh, my God. Okay. Did he see it before the stalker saw him?
I don't think so. I don't think the medevacs had vision range. I don't think they could have possibly. I think he just decided not to go for it, maybe?
Yeah. Guys, I was looking at the stalker vision, specifically, waiting for the medevacs to pop in, and they didn't see it, so I assume the medevacs didn't see them either. But a good decision, ultimately, like, the 1 stalker can't kill the medevacs, but it would have revealed it, and HeRoMaRinE would have had to abandon the idea anyways, so it's like all the same, basically.
I do like this medevac, or War Prism, with the 4 Zealots inside, going to be representing some threat. There is a missile turret that's very well placed, and as well as a siege tank. Wow, HeRoMaRinE really taking the potential of this very seriously. Charge lots are going to retreat from the main army. MaxPax, he's going to have a 4th base, and he's going to have a shield battery here, but will it be up in time for when this push gets here? Without battery overcharge, it's very difficult to hold a push like this.
It's not really all of HeRoMaRinE, though. Like, not quite a drop, right? It's a bit more than that, plus it has the Raven, but he had a lot of units back at home. I do think he was very specifically waiting for this warp in. He responds very quickly, and while he does lose a ghost, and he did take down the War Prism. Oh, okay. Okay, so he lost a Ghost, but he got rid of that threat. Now he can focus entirely on the push. Now he might bring everything. But even then, he's getting a 4th CC. So still playing this very cool.
Yeah, this is still going to be an aggressive move from HeRoMaRinE with intentions of getting a lot done, but it doesn't have to end the game. That being said, if he attacks into, 3+2 Colossus, that's going to be a tough road to hoe with his entire army. And there we go. He is splitting up into 2 separate, very large groups. HeRoMaRinE, though, does get spotted on both sides.
Not quite enough of an army, even with the interference matrix, even with an anti-armor missile. Either one wouldn't have been enough. That's too many Stalkers, too many Immortals. On the left side, however, it's just Zealots and DTs, but a kind of late scan means the DTs already added in a lot of damage, and so far, HeRoMaRinE's pressure isn't really doing a whole lot, even stopped from dropping into the main base. Didn't seem like much was going on there, but what happened there was actually kind of important. MaxPax just slapped down the option of HeRoMaRinE going from multitasking to victory. He just pretty much put a stop on that.
Yeah, and now the Raven's gone as well, which means these Colossus, they can only be dealt with mass starport units here, mass Viking. That's why he's adding on this second starport. But he still doesn't have any Vikings. Sorry, he's got one Viking. That's not enough. And this is a very, very dangerous army. +2 Colossus do so much damage. Such an insane amount of damage to Bio.
Marauders can tank a lot if they got a concave, but they don't want to just be sitting in one place taking damage freely, which is exactly what MaxPax wants to do. He wants to bully back an army without Vikings, totally ground-based with the Colossus beams. And as long as he's got like a choke on his side, then he's free to do that. So he's going to set this up as aggression. I don't even know if he's really going to commit entirely. No, he won't, but just because the Zealots and DTs get on the right side, there's already a missile turret, but the planetary's not done. The blink-in kills most of the Marines, but reinforcements come in. Same time, HeRoMaRinE is defending against the army, which has its vulnerabilities. The Marauders come in here with a decent concave. EMP's just blanketed the Protoss army, but it's not quite getting on top of the Colossus. There aren't a whole lot of Vikings. The Stalkers, though, starting to thin out. The Marauders still barely alive will chase after the Colossus and get every single last one. HeRoMaRinE loses some SCVs in the process, but he just took down a very expensive army.
That he did. The Medivacs were kind of the MVPs there. He just had so much sustain during all of that. I was not expecting those units to stay alive for as long as they did. And HeRoMaRinE takes a really, really great fight. Still does suffer some damage, so he's not going to be able to push in here. He's going to replenish his SCV count, which I kind of like. But he survives a scary moment. That being said, we've got triple Robo, 3 Colossus at a time, and +3 weapons is about to finish up.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, because that's triple Colossus now, triple Disruptors or Immortals later. It's just all of the really good units, and he can actually afford to do this on almost 5 bases, 75 probes, so HeRoMaRinE still has a lot to worry about. You know, one of the reasons that did work out as well as it did, as far as the defense goes, is that he did have the EMPs. It took down a lot of the fodder units very quickly. The Immortals didn't really get a lot of shots. I don't know if MaxPax lets that happen again, but even if he did, we can see that as cool as that looked, as good as that was to take down all those expensive units, the game is actually still very stable. MaxPax has plenty of time to rebuild robo units, ground units, and continue on with his upgrades. Still only single forge, and maybe that's a little surprising, but it's a very even game still.
Yeah, it's very funny that we haven't seen like neglecting armor this long in the game for a while. Like, stylistically, that hasn't been something that we see for a very long time. Now, I love this +2 ship weapons. It is such a huge power spike, specifically for Liberators, because you go from always 3-shotting Stalkers to always 2-shotting them, regardless of armor upgrades. And it's just such a huge boost to the power of those units. There are so many ghosts in this army, by the way. Holy crap.
It's 10 ghosts. That's probably where he wants to stop. He's gonna keep adding more, though. Okay.
I was feeling like a TVZ right here with the number of ghosts we're seeing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, is that if he is actually trying to go towards Ghost, Liberator, Viking, then that is actually all you want, really. But there's still kind of that transitional period where you want some of the cheaper units, like Marauders and Marines, to cover your butt. But if he is just kind of saying, yeah, it's heading towards Supreme Late Game, then that is the Supreme Late Game army. Liberators included, though, and they're not here quite yet. Just the 10 Vikings to fully back 4 Colossus. Not a whole lot of Stalkers to stop that either. Oh, jeez. Disruptors almost getting a couple shots there, but quickly running out of their ammo. Here we could actually push this maybe a bit. Nah, he's not going to.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to have seen that. I wonder if the heavier Ghost composition is to try and have EMPs available for DTs. Speaking of DTs, wow, that's a lot of DTs coming in on the left side. Oh, through the middle now? Huh.
Is he going to try and... He might have actually been trying to get a surrounds. It's a bit of a missed opportunity, though, because HeRoMaRiNE's already going up the middle, which makes it just an awkward engagement all around. Disruptors will be chasing a Terran army into MaxPax's own bases, which isn't really ideal, because that means damage is being done whilst they're trying to chase everything. The Colossus also were taken out by the Vikings, because nothing was there to protect them, but Disruptors finally closing in on the army. Charge lots as well, forcing the pickup. But there's not enough Stalkers to chase that down. Plus, it's just, you know, a game of whack-a-mole with that many medevacs. MaxPax is going to lose, again, a lot of his robo units, but stay alive.
Yeah, and that triple robo, once again, is going to be so handy for him. He is trying to blink forward to go after these Liberators. Disruptor shots coming in on the Ghost, getting a lot of them. They do... Oh, that last one getting a couple of units, too. But the DTs on the third base. 13 SCVs. Oh, and that command center. Oh, no, it's going to get taken down so quickly. No lift.
HeRoMaRiNE was kind of caught in a very awkward timing there. He actually thought... I do think this was intentional. I think he intentionally let his army there fighting the Disruptors because he figured he had enough left over. If there's not a lot of units protecting the Disruptors, they will die to a single Marine, right, if they're out of shots. So he thought he could take the engagement, but then he also was paying attention to the DTs. And when he paid attention to the DTs, he continued taking bad shots from the Disruptors. Then I think he went back to his army to pay attention to it, and that's why he didn't lift his orbital. Just one of those, your eyes are in the wrong place at the right time situation. But anyways, the game's not over again. MaxPax still has the Disruptors. HeRoMaRiNE still has a solid Bio Ball, and now he's getting Liberator range to kind of perfect that Ghost Liberator army that I was talking about.
Oh, the orbital does get lifted. That he almost lost that fusion core with like 10 seconds left on Liberator range. That's 20 DTs with blink. That is like, that's 40 supply of invisible men. Artosis would just be mauling right now.
Anyone should. That's just insane. They're not supposed to be direct combat units. This is on the level of laughing at Queen Walks, all right? You're like, I'm pretty sure this isn't what the unit was created to do.
Meanwhile, MaxPax is just somewhere. He's like shrugging his shoulders. He's like, yeah, okay. Like, that's fine. I'll win with them nonetheless. I don't care.
I mean, MaxPax's career has actually been doing things that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to proxy your first gateway and be totally fine if it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Like, that's what he does, and he has been more of a fan of the mass DT blink than others, although every Protoss now does it.
The way he like used that to, I don't know if you saw that, the Disruptor shot, he just like threw it out and then was like, it's not gonna hit, and he just brought it back to the Disruptor. Ooh, I like this move with the Stalkers. Gonna be looking to go after these Liberators, but there's a little bit too much bio. Won't be able to break on through. And now, oh, the Disruptor shot! Oh god.
Oh, shit, I was looking at the Stalkers all dying.
Yeah, so was I. I like just barely got back in time. That's the tricky part about observing this.
Yeah, he just HeRoMaRiNE tried to chase after the Stalkers. They didn't know there was like a bajillion DTs. So he just like ran his army into DTs. Oh, this is also why Liberators are so necessary. Like, they are the line in the sand that is drawn, that bio units can't draw. You know, they work against the DT blink. They even work against Stalkers, and they have the +2. Bio units just aren't on the same level. They're vulnerable to a lot of these units. The Liberators are critical to holding key points, key choke points as well. EMP hits the DTs, but are there just too many? They blink forward and try and take out the bio, but it's not going to work out. And EMP is hitting the rest of the army, means the Liberators are one-shotting a lot of these units. MaxPax dips very low in supply, but he does have a bit of a bank. He's going to try and actually recover. He turns them into Archons to save the day, but the EMPs will reduce them down to basically nothing as the Liberators continue to leapfrog forward. HeRoMaRiNE, he knows he's got momentum, and he's not going to let MaxPax use his economy to recover.
That was such a great move right there from HeRoMaRiNE. MaxPax, though, Why did he blink in on top of the ghosts? Your DTs, 2/3 of them are shields. You can't do that.
Oh, he just thought there was enough. To be honest, it was hard to call. The medevacs were kind of that fog in the sky, obscuring it for both players, and I'm sure even HeRoMaRinE was like, phew, okay, I thought I was going to win that one. Oh, good catch here as the medevacs try to retreat. Takes them out, also just trying to catch the Liberators while they're looking the wrong way. Going to catch probably 2. Yeah, and then have to get out of there. MaxPax gives up a base, but after taking like kind of 2 bad engagements almost, right? So he's still very low on supply.
Yeah, this is kind of rough right now. We do have him taking the 6th base up in the left. It is important to note that his gas count has never been insanely high, and his gas bank is not all that high. Oh, the disruptor shot! Oh my god. I can't believe that didn't connect. That was about to kill like 7 ghosts.
Yeah, I did not see a reason to chase after that one disruptor. You know, I saw a lot of reason to back away from it.
That was so bold that he actually went after that, and the fact that he got it is nuts to me. That HeRoMaRinE calculated apparently. Damn.
Oh, that is a lot of Liberators. When you're up at 11 Liberators, this is the time where you basically you've either got the Terran under your thumb, like they're still on their side of the map, or you have air army, and of course MaxPax has not gotten to any type of air. He can't really afford to. He's had to replace a couple of different armies. The gas count's too low, so he's got to just kind of base trade it. This is actually the only legitimate option that the Protoss has, is to dislodge the Liberators and hope they fly over a bunch of Stalkers.
And honestly, this is, strategically speaking, this is a great decision from MaxPax. All of a sudden, the overall supply is even again. HeRoMaRinE does have a very, very large army supply, and dealing with these Liberators is going to become really nasty. What do you think about the decision to leave 6 Liberators at home to defend this base?
I think it's perfect. HeRoMaRinE should know that the base trade is the only option for MaxPax to win, because he's seen nothing but replenished gateway armies. So he's like, okay, I'm familiar with this position. And Liberators, they can't be broken in a choke, protected by a planetary or just a handful of army units, or honestly each other. 6 Liberators picking each other is a lot. Disruptor's going to get some of their last shots here, and it's not going to connect with anything as MaxPax, no, again misses it by a second. Oh, HeRoMaRinE playing with our hearts right now. He's going to be controlled by the Zealots and DTs. He could always just lift up and get the heck out of there if he even needs to. Apparently he doesn't. All of the ground units getting destroyed as MaxPax down to just the Disruptors. He has lost this game, but man, it was one hell of a 22-minute PvT. GG.
I can't believe that was game 1. What in the hell? These guys are so damn good. Decision-making from HeRoMaRinE was top-notch right there. Leaving those Liberators at home, exactly what the doctor ordered. The EMPs and going after the Disruptors, the absolute gonads on HeRoMaRinE to go for that not once but twice.
Yeah, that's... I can't believe the first one was actually like a... I will go after this Disruptor decision. You know what I mean? I feel like that was 100% a, oh, I'll go after it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, like you just hope that you get it. Oh my goodness. But even if he hadn't, I actually wonder if that would have been enough to even tip the scales, because it was one of those games that the army of HeRoMaRinE was 100% better, and killing that much bio army still might not have been enough because the Liberators were still dominating. So It's would have been more helpful though than not getting it.
Yeah, it is important to note that MaxPax had done a great job up until the very, very end of that game of, even when he lost bases, keeping his probe count pretty close to intact, never losing 20 probes as he loses a base, like ensuring that he kept having other bases to send them to. So I don't know. I was kind of feeling MaxPax's position if he could have landed like 1 or 2 big disruptor shots. But my God, did HeRoMaRinE ever mitigate those well?
Yeah, I mean, as difficult as it is for the Terran to control those siege units and make sure they're always in the right position, as well as splitting their army and make sure the ghosts do their thing, whatever. It's also very difficult for the Protoss. The Disruptors are so vulnerable to any type of concave, much less a surround, that when the games get action-packed like that, it is a lot about vision, which, neither player was going to have, 100% vision, so it's always going to be difficult. And they are one-hit wonders. The Disruptors either get the hit or they don't. So it's a tough game for both sides. They both played it pretty much as they should have, except I guess it kind of started when MaxPax let too many DTs die, which is a weakness of them. It doesn't feel that way when 8 DTs kill a planetary, but they are expensive. If they don't do the job, they can be a complete waste.
Yeah, and they're really, really heavily reliant on shields. They have 80 shields and 40 HP. And in addition, the armor upgrades for MaxPax, I think at the very end of the game, he might have had +2 armor, but they were not good. So, like, you EMP that, and Bioforces, they obliterate DTs. Like, they just disappear. And MaxPax, even with the way MaxPax took that, if it had been in the middle of the open, probably would have been fine. But he was fighting against a watchtower with the, like, perfect tucked-in position for HeRoMaRinE.
Yeah.
I think that was like, it's all those factors strung together that meant those DTs did not do as well as we're used to seeing them do.
Yeah. To be honest, I do feel like every Protoss player will identify with this, including the pros. When you can warp in 20 DTs, there's just a natural confidence booster they give you. And they can sometimes push you over into arrogance. It's just, you feel overwhelmingly evil. You feel like Menks calling down 100 nukes in co-op when you have 16, 20 DTs actually capable of fighting an army. So it's really easy to get overconfident, even when you when asked, acknowledge, oh yeah, DTs are a lot of shields, aren't they? Maybe that wasn't a good idea. But at the time, you feel like a supervillain.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. You feel on top of the world. What do you... Man, HeRoMaRinE really let that NG Bay get to the very last second, right? Like that was like 0.01 seconds away from just being killed by the probes before he canceled it. That was a degree of confidence that I do not share in my... I gotta be impressed with HeRoMaRinE right there. What do you think about the high ground command center after the NG Bay block?
You gotta respect it. When you see no Nexus and yet you can't quite get up to that main base, I think you take your victory with the engineering bay block on the high ground command center. Did he have to? I don't think so. As we can see here, probably would have held. But the chances of MaxPax either doing a MaxPax or like earlier gateway chrono adept thing, maybe a little too strong to deal with. This just alleviates so much early game headache for HeRoMaRinE.
True. That's a good point. Oh, that adept like escaped and then he just stopped moving it.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a big deal. It's his only scout, because he's gonna go into, I guess, DTs. Well, no, hold on. He actually got the robo, I think, quicker. Those might be. He might still get blink and 4-gate it. I mean, to be fair, the 4-gate worked out fine last game. He did macro out of it perfectly fine. It is DTs.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say it feels like DTs, but it's hard to say.
Yeah. Usually you do get blink, then the robo, and then your gateways.
Yeah. But this is gonna be tricky to make a big, powerful push happen. HeRoMaRinE loves his quick Raven. Now, will we see that after this medevac? Time will tell. What is this drop, though? Okay, a Cyclone, a Widowmine, and 2 Marines walk into MaxPax.
Well, I do think that HeRoMaRinE, he loves applying just a little bit of a pinprick to MaxPax, because MaxPax is always doing the same to him. You know, either it's a pinprick as in this fucking adept, being obnoxious, 3 SCVs and lost mining time, or it's, 4-gate, which is less a pinprick and more of a punch. But the point is, this type of maneuver actually kind of cuts the Protoss off at the knees in a way they would never expect. They're just basically sitting there going like, what the hell? Who does this? Why would you do this? And even this Widowmine is like, what the hell? Why would you do this?
Yeah. That's a great way of putting it. It's just like what the hell, man? Like, it's just an unexpected event that you have to deal with. And this Dark Shrine has been done for a while, but the DTs are just now getting warped in. I don't know. This feels a little bit late. Oh man, does he see the shimmer? He has the medevac selected.
Oh, he's already building his turrets. Oh wow, I think he did see it.
That
Or,
is so incredibly Gosu. No, he has to. He has to have seen it. That's the only thing, right?
well, I'm actually thinking that he didn't, he saw the stalkers didn't blink back away from the Widowmine. So he might have actually been figuring it out that no blink equals DTs. Because how many people go for 3-gate Robo nowadays for Colossus? And that's the only other thing that he saw. But either way, the DT does get into the main and natural, so it's going to cause some chaos despite very quick adjustments from HeRoMaRinE. But 4 SCVs for what should be 2 DTs is not quite worth it. Not quite.
No, especially since he lost the War Prism as well and
Yeah.
tried to recall it unsuccessfully. He recalled it and it died mid-recall. Oh, this DT is going to get back in here. Oh, is it going to get away? Yes, it will.
Liberator killed
Picks off.
7 probes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That is ludicrous.
Well, I guess she only killed 5, but the drop killed 2, so now 4. So 9 probes in total have been lost. MaxPax is holding on to this 1 DT in the main as his savior. So that's probably not going to do very much. And MaxPax has an unideal start to the game, but it is playable.
Yeah, I'm really liking HeRoMaRiNE's position, though. This is a
Yes.
really, really strong spot. That being said, Stim just started up, and we've already got Disruptors on the way. I'm surprised it's Disruptors and not Colossus. Maybe he's expecting a push a lot earlier, so he wants those quicker building Disruptors.
Could be. I'm actually surprised by that as well. Colossus seemed like to be out in time fast enough. Good dodge away from the Widowmine. Because the War Prism...
Somehow that doesn't hit.
Oh, no. 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 Oh, no. Oh, no.
And Recall's on cooldown. That Archon's trapped. Oh, unless he gets the medevac?
No. No, no. No, no. No, no, no.
Oh my god. What a comically... That's a hilarious interaction right there. That just didn't make any sense at all, but that, wow, what a... I've never seen that. I've never seen... There's so many interactions in StarCraft 2 that are... I've just never seen them before, and they just break my brain.
It was funny. Oh, okay. Before that happened, I was going to say, I am surprised by the Disruptor as well, because my feelings is that he was really quick to replace the Warp Prism, knowing that he needed the harassment and he needed the scouting. And he was going to get it pretty quickly. So, with that information, I would think the Colossus would be a safe choice. When, yeah, this quick of a Disruptor is almost always like a risk. You're like, oh, I need something to really pop off right now. Maybe it's all a moot point, doesn't matter. He chronos a supply blocked Robo. Oh no, is MaxPax falling apart? I really don't hope so. But that last game was quite tiresome.
Yeah, that's... And it's important to note that they've been playing for... It's 6 hours into the bracket. Like, they've been going at it for a while. This may actually be one of those situations where ESL Open NA takes place almost right at the end of EU.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning? Right at the end of EU. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Oh, man. Of course, last game was super tiring. 6 hours of StarCraft as well, all the practice they were doing. And then on top of that, you had a pretty disastrous start. It was one thing to let the DTs and the War Prism die, but then to instantly replace it and then instantly lose it. No, that's a whole another level of, wow, that was stupid. I should never have done that. I can't believe I lost it. I can't believe I even tried rebuilding it. You get really critical of yourself. Oh, and he loses all of his stalkers because he's dealing with the drop in the main. Wow, HeRoMaRinE has got this game on lockdown, man. If not in technical supply, mentality, I think, is all HeRoMaRinE.
Oh, and he's going to get the interference matrix. He's on these 2 units. The disruptor shot. Oh, get taken out again. How does he keep doing this? Oh my god, HeRoMaRinE. He's going to be able to take down one of the Colossus as well. There's DPs with the army, but the scan comes in. Yeah, this is all over by the crime.
There's a nerf on MaxPax that just makes it, whenever he faces HeRoMaRinE, is Disruptors shoot a second later. No one knows why it was put there, but it is. GG. Good
Damn,
word.
what a performance so far from HeRoMaRinE. HeRoMaRinE saying, no, you can win NA, but you're not taking the big game weekly from me. Don't even try.
I mean, it's still a couple of crazy games. That one was far worse for MaxPax, far worse. But even then, I still love the way that MaxPax plays and tries to figure things out. it was 1, 2, 3 things that last game that went super poorly for him. His handling of the drops as well as his own attack. No one can really recover from that.
Yeah, not so much. That is a tough one. Tough one for sure. You've already, kind of been in an uncomfortable situation. It's just not a good scenario to be in. Like you've already lost so much. You're already so much on the back foot, and then you lose the second War Prism and you lose the Archon, all without getting either the medevac or the Cyclone. Like it's mental damage as much as anything.
I wonder if he can recover from this. MaxPax is actually, I mean, this is going against his age and the stereotype there. Like, he's actually not really been, to me, a player who just falls apart after a bad loss or a couple of losses. He actually still plays with a lot of confidence, and he still does his thing. Other players will retreat into their shell and become little hermit crabs. He's never a hermit crab. He's out there with a knife as that crab battling. You know what? You probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
I think I do. Yeah. Is it like the one?
The crab battle against Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, true. No, I'm unfamiliar with that one, but sounds pretty funny.
It is one of those memes that exists only if you were deep in the internet in like 2004 or something.
True. I think my parents tried to keep me shielded as long as possible. They didn't succeed, but they tried.
It's just such an amazing. I'm actually going to describe it to you and the audience. It's funnier when you see it, of course, but so Metal Gear Solid 3, it's like Snake's like, camouflage, he's like sneaking around, and he goes up against a crab, and he's like, okay, people at headquarters, there's a crab here, and they're like, well, so what? And he's like, well, it's a crab, and it's really scary, and they're like, it's just a crab, Snake, go after it. So he tries to battle this crab, and the crab just literally like wins. It's just literally a minute of animation of Snake going like, what the hell? Shit, stupid crab. And then he just, he gets taken out, he dies. Because that could actually happen in Metal Gear Solid 3. You could die to the stupidest things. Anyways, MaxPax is that crab. There's an entire human in front of him, and he's like, I don't care, give me a knife.
Just trying his absolute darndest just to go after him.
Yes.
That sounds like fun. There's some like old school stuff on the internet that we just don't have that kind of I don't want to call it charm, because I wouldn't call the old school internet charming, but it's like a unique experience,
It's part of some people's childhood in the weirdest way, that entire what was that site called? Newsground or whatever? Like
Newgrounds. Newgrounds.com.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like that entire site was just part of a like it's actually generational. Like Clem has no idea what the hell I'm talking about. 25-year-olds might even know what I'm talking about. So you're just like, what was that? And I'm like, it's back when we used this thing called Flash. that is now like officially malware or some shit.
Yeah, rip Flash. Quite literally doesn't exist anymore. It's quite literally been put in the ground.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. What have I gotten on this game?
I don't know. There's some stuff going on. There's like a Marine first and a Reactor, no Reaper, and all that jazz. So it's fine.
Oh, okay. I'm glad to see some people in chat. No crab battle. Thank you, guys.
That sounds like fun though. That sounds like a lot of fun. Something I missed out on. Ooh, double Reaper actually. Okay, I like this. And a 3 racks. Ooh, now I really like it.
Well, 2 racks.
I think he's gonna add on a 3rd.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, did I miss a 3rd one? Okay, yeah. He's added on a 3rd. I have to ask this before things get too topsy-turvy. Did you actually watch any Newgrounds series?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. Well, I don't know if I watched any of the series, but I remember a lot of Flash videos on Newgrounds.
Okay, yeah. I always really liked Foamy the Squirrel, I believe his name was.
Foamy the Squirrel?
Yeah, it was like a whole series of like this like crazy squirrel that could talk, and I just remember one, there was like the Amityville toaster, and and it was like, where'd you get this toaster from? Amityville? And then the toaster was haunted because Amityville is like the Amityville horror.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know at least that much. I'm not sure. Anywho. The Reaper is so far a bit unsuccessful. Already losing the second one actually literally cuts this in half as far as damage dealing potential. Otherwise, it probably could have taken on the Stalker.
Yeah, Stalkers, Mass Reaper does surprisingly well against Stalkers. Now, 2 Reapers, not Mass Reaper, but, you know, it's still a fair number. It is important to note, by the way, on the other side of the map, the Adept got into the main base, killed 2 SCVs, and scouted the 3 racks. And in response, HeRoMaRiNE's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to get a second tech lab. I'm going to get a very quick concussive shells and push out much earlier than normal. I love that decision.
This could really trip MaxPax up. I mean,
yeah, especially if he tags this Stalker.
Yeah, which is kind of the ideal start. It will alert MaxPax to the idea that this could be like a quicker push, but I think it'd be worth it. Okay, so far MaxPax letting that stay out of the range of the Marauder. Nicely done. Nope. Nope, he's gone.
Oh, there's the tag, it's dead. Nice move from HeRoMaRiNE, but also a little bit of a mistake for MaxPax. He is going 4-gate blink, and he's going to add on a shield battery, but I don't know. This is dodgy. That being said, blink's going to be done, so that's not too bad. Oh, but another Stalker. No, why?
Yeah, I just wanted to... Well, it's actually... Yeah, he really had no business being out there. An observer was about to fly across and see and confirm that the push was still happening, so... Unnecessary third Stalker almost dying. It probably will die, unless MaxPax just tucks it in a corner. That's actually exactly what he's gonna do. Just let it live, and then chase down the bio army when he has enough Stalkers.
And he's pretty close to that point right here. This is a really unfortunate, like... Oh, Stalker does go down. A little bit of a mistake right there for MaxPax. Not mindful of that. Oh, and he's going to face check the ramp, which is very bold. And it loses him another Stalker. This should have been so... Oh, and another one! Oh my god, DJ Khaled right here. This should have been so good on paper for MaxPax, but instead he loses 5 Stalkers when he probably shouldn't have lost any. In a perfect world, he could have gotten away with losing none.
Yes, yeah, in a perfect world. I guess realistically we allow, like, you know, the 2, because that
yeah.
No, you're right. This could have been a lot better, because then if he had saved all of his Stalkers, I think he can clean it up swiftly. You know, it takes a little bit longer to clean up, and he does it, like, pretty much instantly, and then can go across the map without worry. Now he's lost some Stalkers, some are injured. Clearly HeRoMaRiNE had time to reproduce, and the 4-gate doesn't really work against the 3 racks unless it does clean up the Marines in the middle of the map and then immediately counter. It's like the timing it has is very, very narrow. So now MaxPax needs to move on.
Yeah, move on with his life, find other adventures in Protoss, and it's going to be Colossus, it's going to be Charge, it's going to be a 3rd Nexus, because there's so many adventures in Protoss. You know, there's tons of them. I do like this patrolling Stalker on the top right and bottom center of the map. Well, I guess middle right. Ooh, scan comes down, kills off the Observer. Nice.
That is actually a very nice grab. It's going to give, believe it or not, HeRoMaRiNE a little more freedom. He no longer has the perfect map hacks eyesight that MaxPax would love, so he can move out. He can even set up a drop. MaxPax is the one that's a little bit more blinded, despite having as much as possible out on the map. I mean, that's what the Stalkers, they have to be here. They kind of have to take the losses just to get some scouting done. See if the push is coming down the middle or being picked up in a drop. Because the Observer's not there anymore. The Colossus shield battery should do the trick on defense, but even that's a bit questionable.
Yeah, there's a lot of Marauders here. And as we saw in game number 1, heavy Marauders can be very, very good against Colossus if there's not a lot to soak for them. That being said, there's a decent number of charge lots, but no extended thermal lance. Ooh, nice attempted snipe. But HeRoMaRiNE does save the medevac. Oh, and now he's going to get a Stalker in return for his troubles. Maybe even 2. Nope, blink away. Good job.
Not going to push his luck any further. Second Colossus was about to pop out, as well as all the upgrades finishing for the Protoss. HeRoMaRiNE, yeah, I mean, he can still make something happen, especially when it comes to that high ground. But opportunity missed, perhaps, when there was only 1 Colossus. What was in your shield battery? Got to respect that. Bunch of Zealots coming in here, going to grab a tank, force the SCVs to be pulled off to support whatever units are available. A couple of Vikings going to have to land. HeRoMaRiNE, though, not going to shy away, not going to pull back, continue with the push, which is a bit bold. And he's already mismicroed a tad here, but the tank is sieged up. The Zealots will disappear quite quickly, and the Colossus will be left alone. If MaxPax isn't careful, this actually could be it. Maybe he bit off more than he could chew. He pulls back to the shield battery. Third Colossus pops in the nick of time. The shield battery overcharge coming in absolutely clutch. But this ends up being a trade that HeRoMaRinE might actually be okay with, despite the losses of the SCVs.
Yeah, he did lose a lot of SCVs right there, and that's going to mean macroing is a little tricky for him, but he's done enough damage probably to the army to be okay with this. It does need to, of course, save these units as best as possible, but I think MaxPax is going to be still pretty happy with how that played out. But also, the aggression's not over. This could still be very, very dicey.
I mean, the worst thing for MaxPax is the idea of multitasking, multi-pronged attacks. Like, he doesn't quite have enough units to protect his very important units like the Colossus in multiple locations. So his splits would have to be very, very good. But HeRoMaRiNE's not actually going to go for it. He did look like he was setting up for a bit of a drop to the right, push to the left, but he actually just pulls back entirely. And with that pullback, he'll get his third CC set up. He'll raise his Viking count, and he'll take more of a direct engagement, which means MaxPax has time, as well as, you know, time to actually build up an army, as well as time to situate a defense, set up any run bys. And now, yeah, MaxPax should be feeling all right.
Yeah, I'd say he's feeling quite well right here. This is looking. I like MaxPax's position now that HeRoMaRinE didn't really take advantage of that kind of moment of vulnerability. Stalkers just, you know, finding what they can find. They're going to get pushed back. Oop, these Marauders. Oh, actually, one of them going down again. A lot of Stalkers have gone down in this game. 18 Stalkers. And it's only ever been like 1 or 2 at a time.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's actually 15 Zealots, totally excusable. A Colossus, that happens, but that many Stalkers is just very unfortunate, because they are a unit that you want to have a good number of. Like, the way that you open up, they have to protect the Colossus against the Vikings. You can't just say, like, oh, okay, easy enough to replace, because they're also kind of expensive. But 11's probably an okay count now. That's what he's got. He's going to move on into Disruptors, too, so that 3 Colossus into whatever else from the Robo. Ideal setup for the Protoss. HeRoMaRinE might get up to 10 Vikings, and then move on to maybe a couple Liberators for harassment. But he should have enough to take care of the Colossus. That's where the Disruptors hopefully cover any weaknesses.
That is pure oh no, there's 1 Marine in this drop. Gonna dodge both Disruptor shots though. And MaxPax was really hoping to deal with that with just the Disruptors, but he's gonna need to send more over there. We do see a big blink forward on the right side going after that Viking. Will pick it off. Meanwhile, the bunker, HeRoMaRinE repairing that up, going to be able to deflect this. There are DTs on the bottom side. Another drop coming in. Oh, did that Disruptor shot connect? No, I don't think so.
It caught the tail end. MaxPax is trying to go for a bit of a surround with the Zealots coming back home, which is kind of cool. He's also doing a great job of defending against the Vikings. The number really wasn't ever that fantastic, like 8's threatening, but it's not going to take out the Colossus that fast. And the Stalkers have been covering for now, but here comes a humongous concave. The Nexus is already gone. The Disruptors are nullified with this type of concave, as well as the Focus Fire wasn't there this time. Disruptor actually does hit, takes a chunk away from HeRoMaRiNE's army, but HeRoMaRinE has found some momentum. He's brought his tanks forward. He still has a ton of medevacs, and he's not going to be letting this one go. He wants to 3-0, and MaxPax is going to do his damnedest not to let him have it, but I don't know if that means pushing out into the Terran army. I think you gotta play defensive here.
Oh, definitely. You gotta let them come to you. That's where those Disruptors really shine. The problem is we're now seeing Liberators being added on for HeRoMaRinE. MaxPax will get an okay Disruptor shot. Gets a couple of Marauders. Up until that one shot, HeRoMaRinE hadn't taken any Disruptors. As I say that, we are going to see charge lots flooding on in. The Disruptors, one of them does get target fired down. DT trying to get in on top of the tanks. The Colossus go down as well. Is there enough for MaxPax? It's going to be very close, but the Marauders are kiting back. I think HeRoMaRinE might have done it here. Disruptor getting lost, will get taken down. And now the Marauders going to get the Immortal as well and dodge that Disruptor shot.
HeRoMaRiNE's basically done it. So there it is. HeRoMaRiNE 3-0. Gets some serious revenge for the Open Cup of last week, and makes a powerful statement that this is still his cup. He's still #1. He's still the boss, and he's still